Sometimes the show starts with a good clap, sometimes it starts with a bad clap. But here we are today, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to That Range Life. That's Kris McEwen at Kris McEwen on all the social medias. I'm Bill Bush of DriveRangeHeroes.com. We're doing a remote show this week. It's not like it's been, we went on a stretch of doing like 7 garage shows or something in a row. But
it's so disappointing too, because it's another beautiful night. It would have been great to do a garage show, but
every time,
alas,
we've been doing this show going on 2.5 years here, and every single time returning to the basement stew, it's like reinventing the wheel. It's the same setup, yet somehow it's hard to get right every single time. So I couldn't find my normal headphones, so I got the professional cans.
You didn't give me any warning about wearing the cans tonight. Yeah, I'm wearing my earbuds. I have a different setup. I have this new desk. You didn't really even notice. I did. In the pre-show.
I did. You didn't have your headphones in for like 35 seconds, and
yeah.
Then I went.
So I'm selling. This is the desk I'm selling. It used to be my wife's desk. Got her a new desk, and so now I have this desk in the studio, and I'm like, well, might as well put it to use.
You have what
here we are.
You have what they call a multitude of desks right now.
Right. I can't wait to get it out of my house.
Hey, if you're just joining us, folks, on YouTube here, go down below, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get all the notifications. Maybe give us a thumbs up because you appreciate the good, solid effort we are putting forth for you, because we couldn't do any of this without you.
You can be subscriber number 1003.
And that's what I was going to say. We hit our 1,000 subscriber mark. So the giveaway is coming. We got some people lined up. We talked about it last week. We've been talking about it for weeks. So the giveaway is engaged. It has been started. You don't want to miss it. And let's just say that our partners who love working with us are really looking forward to the giveaway. I don't know if they really are. I just made that up, but it sounded good. Right?
But whether or not they're looking forward to it, they're willing.
Yeah.
So that's basically, that's more than half the battle.
All right. So speaking, if you're listening to the pod, if you do the podcast, Kris, do the podcast thing. You do it better than me.
Podcast listeners. Hello, welcome to the show. Great to have you. Do us a favor. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast. And while you're listening, maybe pause it or whatever, go down, rate it, give it, 5 stars. That's not too much to ask. And then just put a little rating, like a little review.
A little bit.
And then come back.
But you hear us talking about this YouTube giveaway, podcast listeners. So go check us out on YouTube for that giveaway. And speaking of our partners that are giving us stuff to give away, I got to show you something that showed up maybe an hour and a half before the mics went hot. See if you can see this.
Oh yeah. A new supply, fresh supply of Bridgestone golf balls. Thank goodness.
The official golf ball supplier of That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. So Kris,
yes,
got a bunch of Bridgestone golf balls here with your name. Well, not literally, but I can go and write your name with Sharpie on all of them if you want. That'd be kind of funny.
It would be. It'd be funny once, and then after that, I'd be like, "Damn it, it's ruining my mojo, golf ball mojo."
Even more of a reason for me to do it, just for the the lulz. All right, listen.
Just in time for my September golf travel swing.
Yeah, like
I'm about to go on. It comes in handy.
It's like I texting you with this, and you're like, hey, probably a remote show. I'm going to be gone for so many days, whatever. And then it's like, I throw the Hail Mary and see if you're available to do the golfs anyway, figuring you wouldn't be, but it's like there's a certain bit of, what do you mean I don't have your travel schedule for basically, when does your golf season travel start? Like May 1st and ends about December 1st. I'm like, oh, my mistake for not keeping it straight. And
I didn't say anything. I just said I got stuff. I got stuff.
You act like I don't know your tones. That's the thing that kills me every time.
Get out of here. I said I can't. I got stuff.
Can I just go?
I can't. I got stuff. That is word for word. I can't. I got stuff. Listeners, viewers, you tell me where the attitude is in that. Like, what would you want me to say? Like, I'd love to, Bill, I'm so sorry. I feel terrible.
Yeah,
I can't do
one
it.
time.
No, I can't. I got stuff, man.
I got to go to holding the microphone. My microphone stand is giving me, I'll do my best to not create an audio nightmare for you and be cognizant of it. But my mic stand is giving me a pain in the ass tonight. So I apologize. But
all right, just sit still.
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
Very still. Your arm is now a mic stand.
I'm going to find a nice, comfortable position, and that's just how I will remain the rest of this show. It's easier to
start the show now.
It's easier to control too with the good cans on because I really get good feedback on what it's doing. Yeah. So I looked at the set list tonight, and I had a Golfapalooza week again. Family's last hurrah to Wisconsin before school starts this week. And you did some golfs, and like, man, we have quite the set list. It's extensive, but as you said in your text earlier, hey, got maybe a short show tonight because you got things, which is understandable, and you got a quick edit turnaround.
Right.
I'm sort of thinking maybe we just trim out a lot of this set list and maybe just gloss over some things. Maybe don't talk about all of it and just play it by ear as we go here. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I brought that up before the show started, so I agree with that.
You said
I literally said.
You said through 6. You said go through 6 or try to. I'm saying we just
no. I just said we'll stop at 6 if we get that far. Like I said.
Oh no, I'm saying like let's just cut stuff out and plan on 6 because I like your plans for 6. Here's the one contribution. Do you want to talk about our round at Maple Meadows at all? A first for both of us, and how it was like golfing in. It
was awful.
Golfing on the moon. It
was awful.
The course is cool. The layout was nice. The routing was solid and whatnot. But man,
sure.
Admittedly, there was high school golf tryouts finishing up right before we teed off. Naturally. But holy crap, those greens had to be the worst I've seen this year and maybe in a long time. And I am quite comfortable in saying they screwed up my putting for another 2.5 rounds. I texted you the next day. I played 9 holes at the Village Links, our current on course preferred location.
Headquarters.
Yeah, right. HQ. That's much better way of putting it. Good job.
Right.
That you've now having played that 9-hole course a couple times, the greens are fine, but they're public, affordable 9-hole greens.
They're not terrible. They're not bad.
No,
they're good.
Yeah, they're solid.
They're maintained,
but they're not like putting on Augusta National by any means.
Oh no, of course.
Well, following our Maple Meadows rounds, they sure as shit were.
Right. I would put up like our winter headquarter golf headquarters, St. Andrews in West Chicago.
Yeah.
I would put their winter.
I see winter greens.
Just past winter, I would put those greens up against the Maple Meadow greens any day, because those I don't know what they were doing. They were recently punched. It looked like, for whatever reason. It's August. I don't understand that. Yeah, they were beat to hell. Which it's late in the day, but we've played how many thousands of late in the day rounds of golf. I've never seen greens that chewed up. I don't know. Maybe instead of harping on the fact that we have to have our carts in at 8 p.m. over and over again, and time checking us and being just completely mean.
We got yelled at. We got yelled at twice before teeing off.
Before we even got to the first tee, and maybe reemphasize their patrons fixing ball marks on greens. Maybe spend your time that way and be a little more, proactive, rather than just be assholes to everyone who walks through the front door of that place.
So let's
that isn't part of a club or a league or whatever.
So
that was the biggest thing to me. Like, those guys were just dicks.
Let's start off with we walk up and they have the big giant dry erase sign that you put outside of your restaurant when you're trying to attract people passing by to come in and enjoy your delicious home cooking. And it says, have and even like this, which was perfectly fine information to have to convey, but somehow came off in an orderly, directive way that all golf must tee off from the 10th hole today. And it's like, okay, fine. So they have everybody going off on 10 instead of 1, but even that was weird. And the sign's, roughly 3.5 feet tall. It's a significant size sign. And I'm like, that's okay. Got it. Then you walk it inside the little tiny pro shop where there's no less than, 40,000 people in there trying to pay their greens fees and get out on the course. And we think like, hey, we have jobs, we have adult responsibilities. We get there for our 4:16. I feel like that 1 minute counts here. That 4:16 time, we both got there maybe 5 to 4. There's plenty of time to pay.
Yeah, there's no driving range there or anything, so it's just going to walk up and pay and
no big deal.
To the first tee and yeah.
Well, so we thought. You got through quote unquote fairly quick, and then I was in the line because there was a league after us and another league after them. So unless they were playing 9 holes, like there's no way those leagues finished.
I'm sure they were playing.
They had to. Yeah. But so then finally I get to pay, and you got a lecture about, hey, just so you know, well, I shouldn't say it's a lecture. You got spoken to about, hey, you have to be off the course and with your cart back to the clubhouse by 8 p.m. No exceptions. And in case, Kris, you did not get that message, there's another one of these giant outdoor dry erase signs smack dab in the middle of this tiny pro shop with 1 billion people inside of it. Right. And you're like, okay, we get the point. So I somehow didn't get the lecture, but the guy checking me in, or I was paying my greens fee to, seemed confused why I was even there in the first place. I'm like,
and don't forget the messages, the pre-round messages via email about don't you dare bring a piece of or a can of beer or
I did forget about that
outside drinks to this golf course. You will be fined and summarily executed on site.
They did say you will be fined, and I think they said arrested in one of these, but they sent an email the day before, and then I forgot about that sign as well outside, which that's not an uncommon policy, and this is a forest preserved owned golf course, so I more than understand the standing. But
yes, but I guess to that point is, like you said, every golf course has that policy. We get it.
It was just the language was like,
but God, man, you have to be so aggressive with it.
Right.
Jesus.
Aggressive and threatening, and like, don't you, everything in their tones, like, don't you dare come here and expect to enjoy yourself and be in control of your situation. You are not the boss here. You are barely even welcome here. And don't forget the like metal real estate sign they had stating the no drive. I forgot about that sign until you brought it up. Yeah. So
that's right. That's right.
Okay, fine. I'm finally through the line, which was a circus, and the confused guy. And we get to the first tee. I won't say the guy's name, but I'm not even going to describe him because who knows who goes there and sees it. But like then the lecture we got, Bush 416. You guys sure waited till the last minute here, cutting it close.
You guys are cutting it close, huh?
And I gave him
is it 416 yet? Shut up, guy.
And I said, and there's nobody there.
Right. No one's behind us. No one's on the tee box. Like it's, And
then I says to him, the clubhouse is a circus right now, an absolute zoo. We were on time. It took forever. And after the guy gives us a shitty statement, this asshole goes, oh, it must be why he's not answering any of my calls.
Oh, that's right. Right.
No shit, dude. Figure it out. Yeah. Figure it out.
Yeah.
So, I try to let it go because I say to you all the time, like joking or not, that I feel like just in my general assessment and having conversation, I sound crabbier and more critical of the courses we play or scenarios than I actually am. And Harbor's.
Well, if I think you're wrong, I will say I think you're wrong and stand up for or defend or whatever. But in this case, you're 100% accurate.
And so it's like, I'm more or less just like determining my thoughts of it more than I'm saying like, this is what I think about it as we go. Think of like Harborside's a good example where I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm just being critical. Hang on. I'm spending our 18 holes here, sort of assessing my feelings of the place. And even after that, I go, I don't know, maybe it's just a weird, busy time. We didn't play very well. So maybe it's just my attitude. As I played other golf courses after, I continued to think to myself, no, I'm dead on. That was miserable, unenjoyable, and I have no can I say I'll never go back? No. I mean, if somebody was like, "Hey, this is the only thing."
Which
Maple Meadows?
Oh yeah,
this is the only scenario that's going to work out for us. It's the only tee time we can find. We have an outing here, whatever it might be. Fine, but in terms of like, Kris, let's pick where we play today. 0% chance. 0%.
No.
I mean,
no. And
I keep getting haunted by like hitting a putt online, and it's like it's a clear right to left break, and it's like you can't see anything that it hit, but somehow just takes a 4.5 foot left to right jump because some some crater must have been there. I don't know. So yeah, I have no desire to go back there.
Nope, me neither. Especially when the sister course is so much better.
Yeah, assuming they have.
The course literally across the street is a billion times better.
One of the things we pointed out, our options were slim, and maybe there's a good reason why. But there's something about this last week where it must have been like the last hurrahs for a golf season or something. I've like tee times everywhere, even the usual places that are readily available on a regular basis. Just everything was booked a week in advance, and everything was gone. Everything.
Yeah, there's something to that because even when Adam and I went to Thunderhawk, we had like three options for that round, and there was an outing right behind us. I shouldn't say right behind us, but there was an outing going off later in that day that just took up the entire tee sheet. So maybe that's just, it's like outing season or end of, like all the sales departments are doing their golf outing or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Just wild.
Yeah. But we should highlight the one positive, the one fun thing that we did, which was simultaneous tee shots on 18, which is a par 3.
I added that note in the set list. I'm not going to lie to you. I forgot what it meant. I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah, we had this, and it was very, I appreciate it. So you hit a fade into the green. I hit a draw into the green, and it just made a little heart shape as they crossed paths and then landed like 3 feet away from each other.
I would say if even, because we were like, oh, should we even putt at the same time? But we literally couldn't.
Right. And both great shots. We were both like 10 feet out, probably.
Don't worry.
At a back pin.
Neither of us made the birdie putt.
No.
You're welcome. I mean, you stood no chance of making a birdie putt on these greens.
Right.
I will tell you,
that was fun.
I felt like it was sort of a eye-opening experience doing that. I almost feel like that you and I should play all of our golf that way now. Even if
I would do it.
Even if it's like, say, I'm 250 yards out in the rough, you're 180 yards out in the middle of the fairway. I think we still do it. And part of the bit is like, eventually one of us is going to get hit or close to it. And
yes.
It's especially if we have cameras going, it'll be worth it.
For sure.
We have to capture that. So yeah, I don't know.
We tee off one round. We're going to try to play 18 holes, and it's like 5:30.
Yeah.
Like, all right. We're going to take simultaneous shots the whole way through.
Do you recall in our round, we were racing against sunlight, and for the record, we did play a par 5 in 8 minutes. The two of us, that was really good. And we did not get back by 8 and nothing happened. So
here we are.
Here we still
called their
are.
Bluff. Sons of bitches.
Can you imagine how fun it would be to show up? Okay, we're going to do this like same time thing. And we get to that first tee. The starter's like, all right, you guys are up. The tee box is yours. And us two knuckleheads step up and both just tee off at the same time. And in theory, we get so dialed in with this process. I mean, we just get, it's like 1, 2, 3, hear that on the backswing and then at the same time. My God, you guys are sick. but it'll be awesome.
Right.
Man, what a video that'll make.
I agree.
So yeah, that was awesome. I did really enjoy it. All jokes aside.
Yeah. That was fun.
Do you want to talk about your Thunderhawk round at all, or?
I mean, I'll just touch on it quickly. Thunderhawk is great. It's the second time I've been there. And it was a lot of fun. I tested a new putter on that round. So I have some thoughts on that when we have that video, make that video.
That putter?
Yeah, that putter.
Oh, I can't wait till we make that video. But God, we have we say this all the time, but this one, we have a great video. We have to organize that thing and get it scheduled up so we can go do it, because it must be done. It'll be my favorite video on the channel.
But yeah, Thunderhawk, going from Maple Meadows, the shit show that was Maple Meadows, to Thunderhawk, where everyone's super nice to you and very friendly, and the golf course is pristine, and it's very sort of, country club resort feel to it. Was just a lot of fun. Went with our pal Adam Unfiltered and played some pretty good golf. Happy
belated birthday to Adam Unfiltered. Shout out to Adam. Turning the big 40 years old. What an old man.
Yeah.
An old spirit, actually old now.
The oldest 40-year-old I've ever met.
That's true. Adam
Unfiltered. But yeah, it was good. It was a fun round. It's good. It's a long drive, as you know. It's an hour to get out there. But as I was thinking about it, a lot of times I'll drive 45 minutes one way, either to the golf course or from the golf course. And that's only a 20-mile drive. It just depends on where the golf course is, because I live in the city.
Yeah.
It's not easy to get places sometimes. Not that bad.
I sort of feel like being a golfer, like a big golfer in the city who doesn't belong to a country club. Well, really, even the ones that do, it's almost a sort of reopening of reality. Like for me, there's so many options within, I'll just make up kind of arbitrary numbers, like 5 to 20 minutes for me. But I feel like for the city golfers, everything's a minimum of a half hour, with maybe the exception of, like, let's just say take Sydney Meravitz.
Still probably half hour, quite honestly.
Okay. So there you go.
Driving around in the city, there's very little that isn't a half hour away when you're driving, because we've got one-way streets. We've got a lot of traffic, obviously. Even Harborside, if you head out bright and early ahead of traffic, it's still 20 minutes at the least.
And you still could easily, from Harborside to where you live, could still easily have an hour and a half drive home.
Right. Riv and I, when Riv worked down in the city, and we would head there at we would tee off at 4:30. We'd leave. Harborside, for those that don't know, is probably what, Bill, 15 miles from my house.
If even, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the city limits, I think, technically, but it's 15 miles, 10 to 15 miles out. We would leave for the golf course at 3:30. And we wouldn't hit a range ball when we got to the course. We'd get there and have to load up and go. It'd be an hour.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So I feel like when you live in the city, you almost just go, you know what? No matter where I play, it's an hour drive, 2 hours one way minimum. So then you get into, if something's you're normally going 45 minutes, what's another 15 minutes each way? And I think don't get me wrong.
At least I'm driving 40 miles.
Yeah.
For that hour instead of 25 miles for an hour.
Either way, it sucks. But at the same time, I feel like I think it's almost freeing for you guys. Cause like I say to you, there's no practical good way for me to get to all the cool North Shore places. Where you're like, I really just hop on all the, I'm at the heart of all the cool highways that can get anywhere in the northern Chicago area or northern Illinois area. Sorry. It's it's something kind of envy with the city folk and their golf.
Now the North Shore is a lot better for me. And Thunderhawk is up north, so that's
Mundelein, right?
Thunderhawk?
Or where is it?
No, that's Beach Park.
That's right. What am I thinking? Who's in Mundelein? Right? What's in Mundelein? I was gonna say Mundelein. What's the course in Mundelein that people get all worked up about?
Couldn't tell you. Where's Brian Tweed when you need him?
God damn it, Tweeder! Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it.
Anyways,
we'll figure it out.
Going up. That's why a lot of the times when I'm playing just 18 by myself, I'll head up to Wilmette or Glenview or one of those, because I can be like I can just swoop up 94 and I can avoid the airport traffic and shit like that.
So speaking of not being able to get tee times, side note, and you talk about courses close to you, I tried. Even because John Hyde didn't have a car, and so it's like maybe I'll meet up with you, and I go, the one I always talk about knocking out, but it's going to take time to do because it's a commitment of a day from the suburbs. Is Jackson Park. I have to do it for historical purposes, whatever. And I said, let's look into that with a few days in advance. And Jackson Park was all booked up on Saturday except for like an 11 a.m. tee time and a 3 p.m. tee time. Like if Jackson Park is completely full days in advance, like what hope does anywhere have,
The city courses fill up quick. I mean, Maravich is the same way. That 9-holer fills up in a heartbeat. I'm guessing Jackson Park probably had an outing or something. I feel like that, or a tournament or something like that they maybe were hosting on a Saturday.
I have to see it at some point.
I've never played that one either. I need to get over there and play that.
There we go. That'll be on our list. That's one we should usually do.
Apparently it's going to go away at some point, right? Is that still happening?
Yeah, that and South Shore become like my ideal is that I go and South Shore is obviously historic too, and Tom Bendelow, all that.
Right.
Those two courses become the Tiger Woods, Barack Obama project, right? And that'll be fun, but it's like I still want to see the old. I mean, Jackson Park, it's like it's one of the oldest public courses in America, and it has historical American golf significance. I just can't remember it off the top of my head.
That was the city. That was the first city course.
Yeah.
Here in Chicago,
it was a big deal. Like it was a big very deal. Real golf.
Yes.
All right, skip my Kankakee Elks thing. We can talk about that sometime, but.
We have more shows. It's okay.
Yeah. And maybe we'll care then. Let's go. I know you're not going to believe this. I'm going to tell you this.
What's that?
I watched multiple hours.
Did you?
Of professional, not just PGA, professional golf coverage on Sunday.
Nice job. You watched the LPGA too?
I did not. I did watch the Corn Ferry Tour.
Oh, Corn Ferry. Okay.
And that's how you say it. And, then of course the St. Jude FedEx Cup
Championship.
Event. Yes.
Right.
So it was I did watch, but I'm gonna let you take it away here.
Where do you want me to start? You want me to start with the family news? Yeah,
I think you have the most to talk about. I mean, you have the notes on the set list.
I have a lot of thoughts on it. So let's start. Yeah. So let's go back a minute real quick. I'm guessing you didn't watch the Reds versus Cubs game at Field of Dreams.
No, same. Like one of the comments I saw a lot of was I didn't even know the game was on until I saw people talking about it on social media. And so I didn't check it out for that reason and just my general. Well, I was watching the golf because I'm such a big time golf guy.
Right. It was a night game, but okay.
Oh, was it? Okay. Even more so. Yeah. And then I was really watching the golf again at night. I will tell you this. I did. I see you have, and I don't want to give it I'll just let you say.
Right. Okay. So I'll just put some context in here. And so they mic'd up a couple players. They mic'd up Joey Votto and they mic'd up Ian Happ. And Joey Votto's probably a 14-year veteran of the game. One of the great players. 16-year veteran of the game. He's one of the great players. He will be a Hall of Famer, probably not first ballot, but one of the best players of his era. He's a thinker. Mm-hmm. He loves the history of the game. It's clear that, he loves the game itself, but, we had him, for roughly 20 to 25 minutes for a half an inning. Mm-hmm. And it was just him sort of just telling baseball stories.
Yeah.
It was, part of it was about him and his dad, about the surrounding things that were happening right now. But then John Smoltz was in the booth, and so he was telling stories about pitchers from that earlier era, his rookie year. He's talking about Smoltz and Maddox and Glavine and
Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson. Yeah. So he's just spinning yarns out there. Right. And it was so captivating and just so incredible. And I loved it so much. And I think I tweeted something about it. Like, I could listen to that dude just tell baseball stories forever.
Yep.
Like for forever. Right. And somebody responded and agreed and said, nothing to see here at PGA Tour. And that's what the PGA, I mean, if you really want to make this PGA Tour, like, we know that there's downtime tee box to tee box for these guys. They're just standing there. Fine. It doesn't have to be like Joey Votto he's not a nationally renowned player. Yep. He's in the NL Central when we see him 16 times a year or whatever. We know him as Chicago Cubs fans, and obviously Cincinnati fans know him, but it doesn't have to be this big name or whatever. Just find guys like that. Kisner comes to mind. These guys that can just want to talk golf and can keep it compelling and put a mic on them. And man, there's so many I started thinking about similarities between golf, PGA or golf in general and baseball. And what are the complaints? Golf has the reputation of it's a rich sport and it's, disconnected and whatever, it's elite. But the other one is it's boring and it takes so long and there's nothing to do. Right. Well, the same thing was going on with baseball. Like Joey Votto, for 20 minutes, 25 minutes was just talking about stuff. And so a half an inning, 3 outs took 25 minutes. Nobody cared because it was just so good. It was so entertaining. It's like, God, why can't the tour do something like that and find these guys to just talk and promote the game that way?
Handful of responses to all of this that you brought up. I didn't want to say anything. For the record, when it says our note in our set list says Joey Votto comp, and I don't know. I was thinking there's a competition related to it or something.
Oh, it's comparison,
right? Which I figured out, and I'm glad I didn't say anything and left it with you because I was going to say the only thing I did watch was the Joey Votto mic'd up section because for whatever reason it was in the YouTube algorithm, and if I see, and I don't watch baseball these days. I don't really care. I barely know anybody in the game, but if I see Joey Votto mic'd up pop up on YouTube, I'm watching it. It's just gold. And you're right.
It's so
his storytelling's so good. And I like, and then I think his interactions with players that reach base or whatever is good.
Yeah.
And I think, to your point, he played against all these pitchers from yesteryear and they talked to him. I thought this was fascinating about how different the game was when he came in and hitting against those pitchers was, and then how it is now. And how he's been able to adjust and succeed in both eras where not many people could do both. And I'm like, that's a good take I never would have thought of. And I thought was interesting in hearing his thoughts on it. But then he's so loose and fluid in the conversation, minus a few where, he's like stepping into a pitch or, something like that.
Right.
But otherwise, like, it's still pretty minimal. And then it was and I've watched these before and he's usually a little, I would say softer on it, but when the third out was done and he was going in, he didn't even give him like a nice treat. He just cut him off. He's like,
right. Right. Good talking to you, fellas.
Yeah.
Click.
It was so good.
But I feel like he was so involved in the storytelling and talking about baseball that he's like, oh, hold on. I got to get in position here. Like he would, you know what I mean? He had to like
every time I watch one of specifically his mic'd ups, because I enjoy it because usually baseball does a good job of picking a character, so they're all pretty good. But I go, man, I mean, you and I both played baseball. I don't know about you, but we were like ordered. We had to be talkative on the field, and my personality. So I was like, well, I'll just lean into it. Right. But I don't think I could get anywhere near the level of engaged in conversation and responsiveness he was and survive, just purely survive.
And also play baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah. But like to the point, I mean, back to my kind of PGA comp is that these guys they walk to their golf ball. You've got a minute for them to talk. It's not like Joey Votto, who is in play,
right?
Who's playing actively on the field while he's talking to these guys. Like, PGA players, don't give me this bullshit about like, oh, I got to concentrate. I can't. Like, That's garbage. You got one of the best players of his era talking during a baseball game.
Well,
in the field.
Can I remind you, the DP World Tour / formerly European Tour does do this.
For sure.
And then I think of, you see.
That's why I said PGA Tour specifically.
Well, and you think of these clips, you see the goofballs on the Corn Ferry Tour. And I think there's so many guys out there, whether, the PGA players, God, I feel like I know what I'm going to say, and I already feel like a douchebag saying it, but I'm just going to let it go in the interest of a show. I don't know if it's like these PGA players who are there week in and week out, people are interested in, are so jaded by the machine and the money that maybe that's it. But these Corn Ferry guys are more, I don't want to call them blue collar, but a little more, blue collar, trying to grind their way through. And are more characters. And you see things every now and then where they do seem more personal. They do seem more funny. I think that Joel Damon's and his caddy, Gino Bonelli, like they're,
oh my God. Yeah.
It'd be so good. Just,
oh my God. Mike Joel up for sure.
Yeah. Just have to do it. Have to do it.
And that dude would be amazing. Even if it's just like, all right, if you want to even the playing field, just say you're going to mic people up on X hole, whatever. Like, I don't know, man, you have to figure it out, but there should be a way to do it. And it's, it's just another way to make the game interesting. And there's so much, golf and baseball are both so much about tradition and history and, numbers and reminiscing and, fathers and sons and parents and kids and that whole thing. Like it wouldn't be that hard.
What if we start slow? Let's start slow. You don't have to air it in the live broadcast, but in the days of the internet, we all want to consume content before. Let's start slow. Just pop it on your YouTube channel.
Right.
During, if it happened on Friday, pop it on the YouTube channel Saturday, which they're like, oh, it's going to take away from the 7,000 commercials on CBS on Saturday, so we don't want them watching that. Fine. Right. Pop it up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't care. See how it does. And if people are into it, maybe then you start talking to some people, developing some partnerships with players and get it in the broadcast. But, maybe I just answered that question. We couldn't possibly do it because how in the hell would you get the 7 minutes of commercials to 1 minute Tiger Woods golf swing from 4 years ago coverage?
Right.
God, golf coverage is so bad in America. Oh my God.
It has really gotten, the in-play stuff. I'm
going to tell you.
Then they're playing. I mean, it's
the
really
tournament was fun to watch on Sunday because of the golf that was happening. God,
yeah, for sure.
Damn it, the broadcast was terrible. It was horrendously boring in my mind. And they've. I can't. Oh God, if you're gonna get me all upset about the broadcasting of golf, they've just really. I think it's just laziness. Do you want me to
it's just really pure laziness. There are ways to make a golf broadcast more entertaining, more informational, and they just don't feel the need. I guess they're right. They're still getting their money. They're still getting the broadcast. They don't really need to do it. But unless it's a sponsored, like what's the Scotty Scheffler just won the risk and reward award or something. Did you see that thing? And it was like the Aon risk.
No.
And reward award or some stupid,
who cares?
Idiotic thing. Like, it's really dumb.
How about
it's such a, especially when you again, baseball broadcasters, right? And the ESPN crew has their issues, don't get me wrong. But the storytelling, the banter, much more relaxed. You have downtime. You can just kind of talk. I don't know, man. The guys that they're hiring to do these broadcasts just don't do it for me.
I think it's not just the guys are hiring to do it. It's just,
I don't know. Maybe they're just defanged. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe they hire these guys and say, this is what it is. It's going to be as vanilla as possible. And you're just going to, I don't know. I remember the first time I realized, and it's kind of, sports has come around a little bit because, the home team broadcasts they're homers, right? They do want the team to win. They're employees of the team. Right. Like the Cubs broadcasters are essentially they're not going to say negative things about Cubs players, most of the time. Maybe Steve Stone of the White Sox will call a guy out for not hustling at times, but he's a 30-year veteran of baseball broadcasting. He's not going to go anywhere. He can say what he wants. But anyways, my point is, listening to golf broadcasts was the first time I heard broadcasters like cheer for players. Like, I don't know. It seemed weird. Like, get in the hole. Oh, I just missed that one. Like, it just felt like odd. I mean,
well, Kris, they want to see all players do well and succeed.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It was weird to me. Like, just tell me what the golf ball is going to do
right
on the green, and then let me watch. I don't know. That was very much a what's his name, Sir Nick thing. He did that a lot.
I feel like
a lot. Dottie Pepper does a lot too. But
I just think the whole the like self-servingness of it, and they're like, hang on, let's bring someone in. I'm really keyed into lately. They bring in some CEO or whatever from whoever's sponsoring the tournament.
Right.
And I get
immediate channel changer.
But I mean, I get it from these guys are paying a ton of money to have the naming rights for the CBS broadcast wouldn't be there if this company wasn't putting on the event. Like, so
I don't know about that, because no other sport does that. Well, no, you have stadiums.
I understand why it's happening.
Corporation names on there.
I don't see the value in it. Is what I get when they maybe the St. Jude's person gets on and said, hey, please come and
that's totally different.
Donate to XYZ.
Right.
But when the CEO or CFO or whatever of FedEx is sitting there talking about how when we brought playoff golf to the world, you brought playoff golf. What would I do without FedEx bringing playoff golf? I just think every week where some rich guy who happens to be a big golf nerd and loves his corporation getting a tax write-off to host this event and pay a bunch of people millions of dollars, for whatever. Hey, you get your so many minutes in the sun every each of the 4 days. Right. I don't care. Right. I don't care what the guy from FedEx has to say about any
viewers, listeners. Does anyone do you care? I would be curious. Is there someone that gives a shit about rich Johnny White guy coming out and being like, hey, yeah, thanks for having me.
We shipped 700 million tons of goods across the globe last year, and so everybody can get really the supply chain still sucks. Okay. Right. It drives me nuts. And then I'm sure a lot of people posted stuff about it, but the one I saw, because it's in my regular Twitter too, our good friend Ryan Q Info, these guys show up in their first hole of the playoff. They have to, I wasn't drawing they didn't draw for the tee, right? It's whoever finished first.
Yeah.
Had the tee off first. So it's basically the announcing of the formality that is the playoff and how it's going to be played is open with thanking the CFO of FedEx for everything that he does.
Brutal.
And allowing this to happen. The hell is that for?
Brutal. Yeah.
Will Zalatoris and Seb Straka, make sure you thank the CFO and all of us watching. Thank you, CFO of to me, that's where it's Jesus Christ, you guys.
This turned into a real bitch session about golf, which I did not know. Was this your plan? Was this part of your bit? No,
the bit was to basically ignore the set list and anyway, great. Yeah. So what was good about golf though? The McEwen, the House McEwen had themselves a day or a week.
Well, I will real quick before we leave from Will and Seb, and that was fun to watch. Very compelling.
It was like watching you and me play golf.
Well, but they were parring everything. When I think it was the second or third time they played 18, and they both hit par putts that were at least 15 feet or more out. Yeah. To extend that thing. So that was but anyways, you're right. It was a little messy, but that 18th hole, I don't know a good way to play that thing. Everybody pushes that.
Was that hole stupid? In our genuine golf course assessments, is that kind of a dumb hole?
Yes. I think it's a dumb hole because of where the traps sit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I don't know. Yes, you want to, the ideal shot is obviously a left to right over the water. You want to cut that corner and get beyond those traps and try to land it softly into the fairway. But, you know, like, I think it's just a little too penal to avoid water and be in what they have, like 4 traps lining that elbow, like lining that dog leg left. Like,
yeah. And then
when you guys, like, it's a little rough.
Straka hits it in the middle, or middle-ish of the fairway, and then it's like you have the punishing no miss shot into the green too. So
second shot, because it's 460 yards or whatever.
Yeah,
it is,
just wild.
Yeah, it's not a great finishing hole. Anyways, those two, as I was watching them, and you have a lot of downtime, which is a 2-man playoff. It gave me another idea for a bit that we will do probably during the golf off season when we're struggling for topics and things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I have a new game for us to play.
I'm in. Can't wait.
Very similar to 5 Major Questions with Bill Bush.
Yeah,
we have something else coming. So I'm doing some work on that. More to be
little workshopping it.
Yeah,
got it.
more is coming later. Anyways, yeah, Mark, my brother Mark, sent me a text early Thursday morning. I think he was dry. I think him and his daughters were going on vacation. They must have been on the road or something. I don't know. And he said, I threw down $20 on Will Zalatoris straight up to win the tournament. I mean, this is at like 5 a.m. He must have sent this to me. It was so early in the morning. And he's like, I don't know. I just have a feeling. Sure enough, Will Zalatoris comes out victorious, and Mark wins himself a cool $500.
No big deal,
right? It's the first golf bet he's ever made in his life.
Right.
He just won $500. So I thought it'd be a good idea. We've been struggling to find, the gambling aspect to work the gambling aspect of golf into the show. It's such a popular thing. Everyone does the DFS stuff. So I thought, well, Mark seems to be the expert here. So I think every week we have Mark give his pick for the winner of the tournament that's starting today as this episode drops, right? BMW Championship in Delaware.
Yeah, is that going to work logistically then? Is it in Delaware? That's neat.
Yeah.
I guess you'll have to place your bet after round 1. I hope his picks then will come in at like, there'll be, 13 strokes off the lead on Thursday, plus 3,
right.
minus 10.
Right.
And it's like, sorry, that's
right.
his pick. And then, I mean, inevitably one of those will hit too. And I'll be like, God, don't know what to tell you. It was a great bet. You should have taken on Friday.
Right. Anyway, so I'm going to toss it to Mark, and he's going to give us his pick here.
No, I do not need my car warranty extended. What I need is to keep my wrists turned over or stop from leaving them open and setting everything right every time. Oh, hey, Will Zalatoris.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's Mark's pick for the BMW Championship.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
Bill,
pleasure to have Mark.
Yeah,
change it up a bit.
Yeah, everybody beat Mark. Anyway, so that's Mark will be back. Mark will be here every week to give his expertise and to provide his pick for the next winner of the championship of the tournament.
You've been warned.
So we appreciate his research and his effort into that new role of his.
We'll workshop it as it goes too, folks. Let us know. Let us know in the comments how you're doing with Mark's picks as we go on. All right.
That's right.
All right. We've covered a lot. The show went in all the usual ways we hoped it would, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Anything Kris, what do you want to plug for the fine folks this week?
What do we have? We've got the IQ 360 on course review that is out right now. And then we're heading into Cobra LTDX week.
For those of you English, I got it. For those of you that are wondering what that means, we have we took the Cobra LTDX driver out and did some things with it in addition to opening it. So check that out.
Right. Build it in unboxing. And then we went and headed to testing HQ.
The rare
on-course testing
occasion HQ. Our videos beat out, well, not so much the unboxing, but our video beats out the written review. So check that out. If you head over to the driverangeheroes.com website, you will find yourself the Adele SMS Irons review. You may recall we had Kris on recently to talk about those. So read the review, and don't you worry, we have a video in the works that's going to be a lot of fun, to the point shenanigans will happen. We have to probably bring on a full foursome in our group just to provide some buffer and let us and put up with us. And then the Radmore Golf. You've seen the unboxing here on the channel, but the post is up. Read more about them and what they're doing. Some pretty good stuff. And that's it. Do us a favor. Like we said, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, maybe. That'd be great. Hit the notifications or the bell so you get all the notifications. And listen, tell a friend. Tell a friend, however you consume this, that, man, you, for whatever reason, can't get enough of these two golf nerds. And they're not really that golfy of golf nerds. So you should too, friend. We'd really appreciate that. Okay. Kris, it has been a pleasure. I do miss having the garage show with you. It's still nice to hear your voice, though, especially
soon enough. We'll be back together
in the professional cans, like a big time studio here. All right, that's Kris McEwen at Kris McEwen on all social medias. I'm Bill Bush, driverangeheroes.com at Range Hero. Heroes? That's a new cereal. At Range Heroes on all the social medias. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.